Hello there, Mountain Ripper Outdoors. Thanks for joining me. With spring coming around, it's going to be a good time to go hiking. Start getting some exercise, getting back in shape. You might be thinking about, if you're going on a trail, maybe it's late in the day. Maybe the weather could be bad. Maybe you decide you want to do some bushwhacking, do some off-trail hiking. Maybe going to a new place, you don't really know exactly where you're going. And so when you're doing that kind of thing, you might be spontaneous about it. You might be like, well, let's just go ahead and go real quick and go on a quick hike, even if it's an hour hike. Well, you might get out there and a storm could come up. It could be, like I said, it could be later in the day, or things could happen. You might, be following the trail, going along, exactly where you are, and then you decide to go off trail, maybe to go to the bathroom or to go check out a site. Maybe your friend goes one way and you go another way for a few minutes, and something happens and you get off track. Well, you don't just want to go out there like that, because what happens if you're there and it gets dark? You don't have a flashlight. You don't have any way of getting water. If it gets cold, you don't have any way to keep warm. So even if it's just for a short hike, think about some basic things. And I got a few things here that you can take with you that will not even get in your way. I mean, you won't even notice you have it. This is a little front pouch here. This is like for hunting. It's a binocular pouch, but it's great. I mean, they sell them at different places, but what I do is I got my camera in here, and so I can just take my camera out and take a picture, put it back. Very convenient. It's a lot better than a backpack. But then you can also throw in something like this, something small. This is just a little Ziploc bag. You can put it in your pocket, in your back pocket, wherever, and you won't even know you have it. But you can just keep this in your car, or just carry it around with you. I would suggest carrying more stuff, like a first aid kit, like a small day pack with some other supplies, maybe some food and snacks. But I'm talking about the absolute bare bones to not go hiking without it. And the number one thing that I've got in my pocket here is your flashlight. Bring a flashlight no matter what. I mean, if it's a rechargeable, have it charged up, ready to go. Or if it's, if it takes batteries, maybe even throw a couple extra batteries in here. But have a flashlight, because if it gets dark, you're stuck. You're definitely stuck if it gets dark. Especially if you don't know where you are. But even if you do know where you are, it's still not going to help that much if it's completely dark. So, a storm could come, and you could be like, okay, let's go get under these trees. You get under the trees and the storms for an hour or two, and next thing you know, you're like, well, we still got a 3-hour hike to get out, and one thing leads to another, and it's getting dark out. You don't have any light, and that would just force you to be stuck, right? So, flashlight, always have that. I have a flashlight all the time in my pocket. I mean, I use it for work, but I always have a flashlight in my pocket knife. But bring a lighter with you, or some matches, some way to make a fire if you need to. You could even get some of these little light my fire things. And you just break them up, and they'll start real easy to help you get a fire started. I believe these will start even if they're wet. So you can get fire starters like that. Well, even if it's raining, you can still make a fire. If your stuff gets wet. So I got just 2 of those in here, and you got your lighter, a compass, at least a button compass, some kind of a compass. I wouldn't really rely on your phone. If your phone goes dead, then you don't really have you don't really have anything. You don't have some people say, well, I'll use my phone, the light of my phone, so I'll have a light. But if your phone dies, then you won't have any of that stuff. So compass, any kind of compass, and take a bearing. If you're going off trail, take a bearing first. And if you keep going basically in that same direction, you can just reverse your bearing and come back the opposite direction, and you'll know you're more or less going the right way. You'll probably drift. You can drift, but at least you'll be going the opposite way, right? So, because if you're just guessing, you can just walk in circles, because it's happened to me. And you know, and sometimes I'll go off trail and I'll take like a deer trail, deer path, animal path, and you're just kind of going through the woods, and you know, you're actually can find yourself going in a direction than you don't think you're going. You actually might think you're going this way, but really you're not, especially if it's cloudy. Okay, so water purification tablets. If you got to get water later on, you can just get water out of the creek or whatever, and just put these in there, let it sit for 30 minutes. It'll kill all the stuff, and then you can drink the water. Bring some wipes with you in case nature calls. You'll have that. And that is basically it. I've got a ferrocerium rod in here. There's one other major thing reason why I did this video really, but it's right here. I'm gonna show you that one second. So hang on for that. This is a ferrocerium rod, and it can go on your keychain. You can carry it with you, or just have it in a little kit like this in a bag. But this can help you start a fire as well. And one of the things that I learned that helped me when I went off trail, and it was like curvy, like you're taking like animal trails, you're going somewhere you've never been. And like I said, it's cloudy. You're not sure about your direction, because I have gone in other directions than I thought I was going. What I've started doing is, this is a reflective guy line, like for tents and stuff. You can get it at camping stores, and it's got reflective in it, and you can get like orange or bright yellow, just a bright color. Cut off little sections and hang them from the tree branch, you know, little pieces. And as you're hiking, you'll know when you come back, you can look for these, and if you have your flashlight or your headlamp, it'll reflect off of this in the dark, so you'll know exactly where you're going. One other thing that I do too, if you don't have this, you know, every few feet, you know, just find a little sticks and make an arrow along the trail that you're taking. You just make an arrow and point it that way, just out of sticks, and just do that every now and then, so you'll have a path. But the biggest thing you don't want to do is just go off trail, where you're not really thinking about where you're going until you're 30, 40 minutes or an hour into where you were going, and you don't even know, you know, where you're at or where you know which way you went. So if you mark it from the beginning, you're more than likely you'll be fine getting out. And what's so cool about this is you can just get little pieces, and you can just tie it on a little branch right on your trail, and when you're coming back, it'll just reflect when your lights hit it. So it really shows up. And so that way you can mark your path when you're going and just bring it right back out in case something happens. So it's just basically just minor things. So, you know, if you don't have your day pack, that's fine. You don't have to have a day, you know, that would be the best thing. The best thing would be to have a day pack with, you know, food, snacks, you know, first aid kit, stuff like that. But this is just the bare minimum. If you're a spontaneous decision, oh, gonna go on a hike right now, driving over there. Well, just grab the stuff, bring it with you, have it in your car, have it in your wallet. A lot of the stuff I have on me all the time, and that's a good idea too. And you can just have the stuff in your purse or just in something, and you just take it, and you have your flashlight, your lighter, wipes if you need it. Here's a little Swiss Army knife, something like that, a little small knife. And so that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. Just a few of these little items, and to really think about when you do go off trail, to leave yourself markers, and just to kind of watch where you're going so you can come back in. And so have a good time going out on your hikes, being safe, watching where you're going, being prepared, especially if you got your kids. Bring the stuff so they can have a fun experience outdoors. Oh, by the way, smash that subscribe button, the bell, and the like button, and tune in for the next one. I thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Talk to you soon.